Welcome back to my channel, my friends. So, my friends, it's me, your fellow aspiring gynecologist, Master JAITLEY from BMS College of Engineering of Agglomeration Bangalore. My friends, is making an official solemn predication of our so-called fourth installment into the series of political pandemonium programs. My friends and all, so these videos are sponsored. These videos are sponsored by that so-called emotion, that patriotic emotion for Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And my friends, these videos have been institutionalized and brought into action and brought into force and promulgated over here, my friends, for the purpose of uplifting the Indian society, for making revolutionary changes, for making some turbulent reformations, in our India. And my friends, which is why I am having the distinct honor and distinct privilege of presenting to you the series of political and patriotic and spiritual programs, for the purpose of Indian Universatileistically society and for the purpose of Indian revolutionization. So, my friends, so far in the former videos, we discussed about the water crisis in India. But my friends, the thing which I need to talk about right now is that, my friends, what are we in fact doing for the public transportation for the public transportation of India. My friends, when it comes about our public transportation, when it comes about the public transportation sector of India, my friends, like what are the changes which are really required to be institutionalized for our India, and what are the things which we are missing out, and what are the things which are absolutely crucial, or there is simply a requisition for it. And my friends, which is why I gotta say, my friends, that when it comes about the public transportation, units, let's take into consideration the current public transportation sector of India. My friends, when it comes about the Indian public transportation sector, my friends, we have a lot of vehicular public transportation schemes, such as an bus, such as an auto rickshaw, and such as a taxi, and my friends, such as even a buggy in some certain areas, and even trams, which are confined to one city of agglomeration, Kolkata, and my friends, even the cycle-driven rickshaws, my friends, in some of the regions of the East India. But my friends, what is really required? Now, my friends, India was one of the first countries in Asia, to have a railway transportation scheme. Obviously, which was institutionalized by the British civilization, or by the British agencies, or by the British government or East India Company. But my friends, the thing which seems to be right now is that what is really happening with our Indian populace, or rather what is happening with our Indian mainstream. My friends, obviously I know that some of the things were done wrong. Some of the things were done wrong under the British colonization in India. But my friends, the things which the Indian populace always fails to understand is as to what the Britishers did in India, about what the Britishers did in India, guys, in order to make revolutionizations, not for us Indians, but for the growth of themselves, for the growth of the East India Company, for the growth of the Lord, for the growth of the Viceroys of India, for their comfort. And my friends, majority of our populace, guys, and always emphasizes onto all the negative reforms and all the negative reforms, and my friends, all the cataclysmic disturbances and upheavals, which were basically taken place, which were enacted, guys, on India, guys, as a resultant of the so-called slavery, as a resultant of and as a resultant, my friends, of a so-called authoritarian role of the British government in India, or rather the British India. But my friends, the things which we fail to emphasize and as the fruits of the British civilization, which we got to experience, such as the best public transportation systems, such as the institutionalization of trams, institutionalization of the railway sector, institutionalization of the vehicles, my friends. Like my friends, the first vehicles in India, my friends, were brought into our country, by Britishers. Now, my friends, I don't, I don't wish to undermine our Indian inventors. Obviously, my friends, I know that aircraft happens to be an Indian invention, which was invented by Indian aviation pioneer named Shri Shivkar Babuji Talpade. But my friends, the thing which we got to deal with over here is that Indian public transportation schemes, guys, the way in which they used to be, during the British civilization, during the era of the British India, which was recognized, as the golden period, my friends. I mean, I know, my friends, that there were a lot of cataclysmic revolts, my friends, taking place in India at that time, and majority of the things which the British government, or rather which the British India did, my friends, was for the purpose of abduction of India, for the purpose of abdication of Indian society. But my friends, the thing is that we had a great uprising, my friends, to offer annihilation of the British government, or annihilation of the British authoritarian or British dictatorship, in India. My friends, which wasn't exactly a dictatorship, but it was a totalitarian government. It was not an egalitarian government. My friends, that so-called totalitarian approach, which the British government, had in India, my friends. Now, absolutely, that thing, was completely awful, and that thing, was completely repugnant. But my friends, the thing, which seems to be, is that, where is Britain leading now? My friends, a lot of Indians and a lot of our Indian left-wing, extremists, my friends, always, fail to recognize, as to what all things, India really requires, and what all things, Britishers, did for themselves. But those things, are basically the fruits of the British civilization, guys. Maybe directly or indirectly. Even if the Britishers, even if the Britishers in the first place, did not have good opinions of establishing great technologies or great revolutionizations, or rather great lifestyle for us, but they did it for themselves. They did it for their comfort. But my friends, eventually, after those so-called revolts, which took place, between our great Indian freedom fighters, such as freedom fighters, my friends, such as Lala Lajpat Rai, such as Bipin Chandra Pal, and such as even Lokmanya Tilak, and such as even Swatantra Veer Savarkar, Subhash Chandra Bose, even my friend Sarojini Naidu, even obviously Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, my friends, he was the central figure, even Jhansi Ki Rani. But my friends, the thing which happens to which we are lacking is, my friends, those all great individuals, who are the patriots, or rather, who are the great individuals, or rather the founding fathers of our country. Those all people, guys, had great vision for our great vision, which was dealing with freeing India, from the British slavery, freeing India, from that so-called totalitarian British colonization, freeing India from all those horrors of the British civilizations, which were basically imprinted on us, freeing India from being ruled by a British Republic, freeing India, from the control of the Queen of England. But my friends, the thing, which we are lacking right now is like those revolutionizations, were really required for us, my friends, in those days. But my friends, what are the revolutionizations, which we require today? Even though, my friends, India is an independent country, my friends, that doesn't really mean that, we have solved our all issues. My friends, that doesn't simply mean that, we happen to be a spectacular nation. That does not simply mean that we are perfect. My friends, that does not simply mean that we are the best. My friends, I am not at all standing over here to say that we are not good. But my friends, we can be the best. We can be the leading superpower in the world. My friends, we can be the finest provider of education against the Americans. My friends, we can be a techno-scientific techno-scientific center in the world, techno-scientific center in the world, apart from United States and Britain. But my friends, the thing which I need to say is that what all sort of revolutionizations which are required in India, my friends, and the things which the Indians, the things which the Indian society really fails to understand, my friends. Those are the things which I wish to take it forth for a discussion, my friends. Those are the things which I wish to take it forth for the purpose of mentioning, such as our students, studying in the universities today, our boys and girls, who are educating themselves today, do not really have any issue. And my friends, these are all the things, my friends, which I wanted to say. Like, these are not full, but my friends, these are all the things, which we need to, think up, which we need to, which we need to offer making cogitations of. Or these are the things, which we need to celebrate, which we need to ourselves celebrate. In order to make some great revolutionizations or making some great resolutions to our country, even spiritual, to our country, my friends. Maybe patriotic, maybe spiritual, maybe devotional, maybe cultural. But my friends, we need to, and we will. And my friends, that was the topicality of today's debates. And my friends, obviously, I wish to take up all these things for discussions, and which is why, my friends, I am coming live on YouTube, and my friends, I'm sharing up these things to you. Obviously, these pre-recorded sessions of mine, my friends. I wish to make it. I wish to make and for disseminating into the Indian public, or for promulgating into the Indian mainstream, or for making advocacy of to the Indian youth, or for propagating into the Indian society, my friends, for the purpose of seeking revolutionizations of India. And my friends, that was my submission over here. And my friends, those are the things which we as Indians require. And my friends, those are the issues which we need to deal with. And my friends, which is why I wish to state it in front of you, my friends, that all these things we should all these things which I have predicated, my friends, we should be the one to make to analyze, to offer, to celebrate, to cogitate, to even ruminate about all these things, and even brainstorm a lot, my friends, and come up with some great plans and come up with some great policies for the future India, for the Indian universalistic society. So that was my submission, my friends, and see you and have an amazing day. Bye bye and Jai Hind.